George Staines, 2-2. And you've just beaten one of the best wrestlers around. Talk us through that fight. It was fantastic.
So I went in, I was maybe a little bit too arrogant, didn't expect him to be as good as he was. That's my fault completely. I will be doing better tomorrow. Just fucking trust me, that will not happen again. There will never be a split decision again on my record, trust me. But it was good, fucking hell, he was a good kid, you know what I mean, tough game. He wanted to beat me, you could tell, but he just didn't have enough to beat me. I don't think anyone does. Not sound arrogant, just confident.
It was a fantastic fight. It was a split decision, as you've just said there. Where would you rank him amongst the wrestlers you've previously faced?
So I'd probably say he's one of the best. Just fucking short, stocky. I think I only got hit on the ground, which was really good. Corrected that mistake from yesterday. I maybe focused a little bit too much on the striking and less on the wrestling aspect of it. So I just thought Portugal tend to have better, better strikers than they do wrestlers. So I was maybe a bit complacent. I was standing way too tall for my liking. But that'll all get corrected tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day where I will smash again.
You seem a little bit frustrated, although you got the win. Where does that come from inside of you?
Just because I know I could do much better than that, I know I don't get taken down in the room, in the training room, Ash Roden, for those that don't know, he's 100 odd kilos, fucking British freestyle wrestling champion. He's the only guy who consistently takes me down, his photo's just so much bigger than me, so that's where my frustration comes, because I don't get taken down by guys that is his size, and not disrespecting his level, but I just should have done better. He performed fantastic, best I've seen. I felt it. But I will just do better tomorrow, trust me.
Does that show something about your mentality, the fact that you've got the win but you're still looking and criticising your own performance?
Yeah, definitely, not resting on my morals. Because yesterday, performed well. I maybe just slept on, the fact that this is the best tournament in Europe and it has the best, best competition. I just got complacent with myself just because I thought I ran through that first guy. I was supposed to be the best in the tournament, and so I just got complacent with myself. And that definitely does speak, I think it does anyway, I like to say it does, of me as a fighter, just never resting on my morals ever, always chasing something better. And that's how you need to be in this game, you want to get to UFC, you want to get to PFL, all these top tournament, top organisations, you need to be like this. It's the only fucking way.
Well, forget about that now, because you have not long to go until gold.
God, yeah. 2 more days. Coming in with a much better mindset tomorrow. The last 2 fights will be the hardest fights. Of course it will be. It's the semi-finals and the finals. It always is going to be. But I'm going to have to change my mindset completely. I can't think that I'm just going to run for everyone anymore. It's just not going to fucking happen. It's just not. It's a great thing. And it was a great wake-up call. Each round, each fight I'm doing, I'm learning. I never get dropped with the right hand. I got dropped with the right hand yesterday. I got touched with a split decision. That's never happened to me before. I've never had a close fight. So every step I'm learning something new, which is what I fucking want when I go into that pro scene. I don't want to be guessing anything. I want to know everything.
Well, I look forward to seeing you ironing out those mistakes and becoming European champion of the world. European champion of the world. Remember you said that yesterday?
I know, yeah. It sounds good, but it's just false. But I will be the European champion, and you know what? I could be one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. So I'm just can't wait to prove that again for the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you for joining me, Mitchell Good. Mitch, first fight of the tournament for yourself, and you get the job done by submission again as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. I was a bit unhappy with how I changed ranges a little bit. We went in, he's a southpaw counter striker. So we were working lots of different feints and ways of staying at distance. And when he grabbed me, it took me a little while to think, we're grappling now. So once I got a little bit more with it with the range changes, I got my stuff going then. Yeah.
You notice the standard, the levels here, as opposed to domestic?
Yeah, there's a shot I landed. The first shot I threw was a teep to the body, which landed. He made an audible grunt. I knew it hurt him a lot, but he was still there, still kept his shape. He didn't panic. So I think at this level, there's a lot more composure amongst the fighters. There's not a lot of panic. People have got a set game plan, and when things start to go wrong, they adapt on the fly. They stay in their shape a little bit better. So that was a thing I noticed early on in this fight. Yeah, for sure.
Did he have power? Did you notice how strong he was in there?
I didn't notice a lot of power. Like he landed a couple of shots, so I was a bit lazy with my lead hand. So he landed. I noticed in a lot of his footage, he would like dip to his left and throw a check right hook. So he landed his shot, but I didn't feel too much from that. And the same as a lot of fights, people will try and close the range because they can't deal with the range with me and grab a hold of me, but they don't really have an intention of taking me down. And the second that he attempted a takedown and got me down to the mat, it was all over for him. Then I got the sub, so happy with that.
What do you think that sends? What kind of message do you think that sends for the rest of the division after a second round submission?
I think if anybody wants to win this division, they have to avoid being on the floor with me.
Great way to end it. Thank you, bro. Jordan, thank you for joining me. A fantastic performance. Dropped him with a body shot and then stopped him with some ground and pound. How are you feeling?
I feel great. Really happy with the performance. I didn't expect to get the first round finish, but can't ask for better, really. I'm fresh, ready going into the next fight. Like, not touched, unharmed, so yeah, feel really good.
Probably the quickest medical for the doctors there. Nothing, no damage for you?
No damage, no. Nothing. Sorry, I'm shit at interviews, man. I just laugh whenever I got the mic, so.
Well, obviously, we're going to do a few more, it looks like, after that performance. How confident are you after probably one of the best performances from Emmaa so far?
I'm confident, but I know there's a lot of tough competition in the rest of the division. So I've got my man Vaughan over there checking up on this fight that's happening now. And I know one of the Ukrainians just went through. He's a real tough contest for me. So, yeah, I'm excited to go again.
I want to stick on that performance for a second. You dropped him with that body shot. Just talk us through the thought process of landing the shots, and then how did you think you'd get the stoppage as soon as you dropped him? It was about under a minute left to go in the round. Did you think it'd be over by that?
I'm not really sure. I thought I had him against the cage, and I let him off the cage previously. So this time I went full rod tang and just went head, body, and he dropped from it. I didn't know if it was scared or if just because that was his weight, because I knew he was a jits guy. So I didn't know if he just wanted me to come down and come into his guard and whatnot. But even when I come down and I was in half guard, landed a few shots, he didn't have nothing for me. He weren't trying to get the underhook. He weren't trying to get up. A couple of shots, like, was just bouncing his head off the canvas. He weren't answering. The ref didn't step in. So Dan Cassell shouted at me like 10 seconds left. So I just postured up, got a bit of space, and just kept cracking him in the nugget.
Kelly Staddon, thank you for joining me. A win here at the European Championships in Italy. Talk us through the fight.
I started off strong, got a few shots on her, and then she went for a takedown. And I was like, no way, I'm letting you take me down. But then she was a lot better at jits than I thought she was, to be fair. And I started getting a bit flat. I think I might have blown my arms out at the start defending. So then in the third round, when I had a good position, I couldn't land hard enough because my arm would not move. So I was like, but I got the win, and I come here to get to be European champion. So 1 down, 2 to go.
Of course, that's the main thing. Talk us through the end of that second round. It was intense.
Yeah, I was trying to move, but she did have the arm locked in. Like, I think I've done something to my arm, but I just couldn't get out of the position. So I was just laying there, and I was like, surely they'll stand us up. But I guess it looked like she was going to get it, so they just kept it there. So it was a bit meh, couldn't get up, but yeah.
Does that show testament to your warrior spirit, the fact that you just wouldn't give up in there? Obviously, you were never going to, the fighter spirit.
Yeah, I guess so. There was no way I was tapping. I'd rather have broke my arm than tap. So yeah, definitely weren't going to tap. And I knew I was going to win that fight. I said from the start I was going to win it, and I weren't going to let it lose. So yeah.
When it went to decision, of course, were you confident it was your win?
I was confident it was my win because I was on top, but I wish I'd just landed a bit more. But I can work on that for tomorrow. Rest up my arms, get some good food down me, and then I'll put it to better practice tomorrow, I suppose. Get the first one out of the way as a warm-up.
Yeah, well, you've had to wait a few days to get the first fight underway, but your tournament's underway. You've got a win now. Congratulations and best of luck for the next 2 days.
Thank you. Yeah, 1 down, 2 to go. So yeah, let's go.
Let's go indeed. Millie joining me now. What a fight that was. Just talk us through how you're feeling moments after that victory.
I think I'm still living in the adrenaline moment. I think I'm just still a little bit in shock. Not in shock that I won. I knew I was going to win that fight. I felt really good in the second round. In the first round, sorry. In the second round, I scared myself a little bit. I knew that she won the second round, and I knew there's something in my head, just tick like, you Millie, you need to go, this is your round, finish this fight. And so in the third round I came back, managed to hold her there in that position against the cage with the anaconda hold, And I could just hear my coach Chris and Jordan in my corner, and I was listening to them doing everything that they was telling me to do. I just knew I needed to finish the fight, and I got the win, split decision in the end, but it's still a win. It was my first win, and so here at the IMMAF, that means so much to me to get the win here at this competition.
Did you notice the level change as opposed to obviously domestic scene?
I mean, my first fight was against Summer Only, who is Almighty champion, Battle Arena champion, pound for pound best in the UK female. So I knew my first fight was going to be a tough fight. So coming into this, I thought this was going to be a little bit easier than Summer. It was. We didn't really get to the ground that much. I know in the second round where I lost that round, she did get me on the ground for a little bit, but I wasn't panicked by it. She wasn't really, even though I was on the ground and she was on top, she wasn't really hitting me that much, or she wasn't like threatening in any dangerous positions around my neck or anything. So I felt confident, even though I was on the bottom. I didn't feel like I was under that much pressure. But yeah, a lot easier than my last fight. But Jennifer, she was a really good opponent, very strong, and she comes with those aggressive strikes, Muay Thai style. So I knew I needed to watch out for those left hooks and those kicks. But yeah, Jennifer, a really good opponent. But I was just so glad that I got the win against her today.
What does it mean to you to even be out here in Italy on a big stage European tournament, to be fighting on days, occasions like this? Means a lot.
This is how much it means. Sorry.
It's clear what the sport can do to people, and to win on the stage.
I've had some issues in believing in myself. I know everybody does, and everyone puts on that bravado that obviously you've got to be confident, but obviously you don't see the vulnerable sides of people in this sport. And when people say that they don't get nervous, I think that it's not true. I think everyone gets nervous, but I've had a really big struggle in believing in myself just recently. So to be here at the European Championships with the best amateurs in Europe and to get the win, it just means the world.
Thank you so much. You believed in yourself today, and it paid off. Well done, congratulations, and thanks for opening up here. Thank you so much. Leigh Zimmer, thank you so much for joining me. Last fight of the day for Team England, and you get the win. How are you feeling after that?
I feel amazing. Some parts of the fight went as I visualised. I know my confidence, and I've got heart, so I know it got me through the fight.
Take us through it from your perspective inside that cage.
I'm very grateful that I got a very tough opponent. I do like those kind of fights because they're the real test. She was pretty much what I expected. Maybe her defense on the ground was a bit better than I expected, but stand-up wise, it was exactly what we saw coming. It's what we drilled, so it was great.
What did you make of the level in comparison to fights that you have over in England, or at least domestically? Yeah?
I'd give it to her. She was just as good. I'm not taking anything away from her. It's not something new. It's pretty much everything I've experienced before, but obviously, it's the environment was different.
How much would it mean to you then to become a European champion in a couple of days?
It would mean everything. This is exactly why I'm here. I visualise every single day. I can see that number one spot is for me. I truly don't think anyone in here is better than me, so I'm going to show them what I've got.
How important is it to have that mindset of manifesting your way here and getting those wins because of the mindset that you have?
It makes all the difference. I truly believe you can train as hard as you want, have the best team behind you, but if you don't have the right mindset and you don't have the heart to fight and get into a scrap, you just won't win the fight.
Thanks, champ.